How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with another review. A little bit of barrel age time in the form of Great Lakes Brewing's Imperial Smoked Porter, bourbon barrel aged. It's been a while since I've done a Great Lakes beer. I'm trying to think. The last time I actually reviewed a Great Lakes beer was Chill Wave, which I loved. It's changed, I think, a bit over the years, but the actual last time I reviewed it was a blind review. Buddy Joe, Average Troll, sent off a bunch of mystery beers to me. Beers that were wrapped and I had no idea what they were. Love doing it. No one sent me any in a while, so if you're out there, send me mystery beers. It would be awesome. Anyway, it was the last one I did. But I was out and about the other day and bumped into the local Great Lakes rep. And he's like, hey, man. He's like, I thought you'd be here. It was a beer release thing. And he's like, I brought some beers for you. So he brought me 4 of their barrel aged series, and this is the first one. So thank you, Great Lakes. Thank you, Brad. And, yeah. Let's dive in this sucker, see what she's got. Got a nice little fancy hanging tag there. I'll take that off first. It says, the Great Lakes Brewing Company 2017 Imperial Smoked Porter. You proudly present our barrel aged series, a bottle testament to our ongoing commitment to quality craftsmanship and innovation. Bottle number 147. Got a little number. That's kind of cool. Other than that, barrel aged Imperial Smoked Porter, Porter aged in bourbon barrels 2017. Our Rust Belt's vistas wouldn't be the same without a few towering smokestacks. And our robust Imperial Porter wouldn't be the same without its unique blend of oak, smoked malt, and rich, sweet muscovado, butchered words, sugar, aged in bourbon barrels, and Cleveland crafted with style and grit. That'd be that. Label-wise, fucking awesome. It's screen printed, legit, no fucking stickers. I love me some screen printing. And, you know, it's simple to the point, nothing too crazy. I kind of dig it. Yeah. Actually, oddly enough, there's no ABV on this, and there's no ABV on any of the barrel aged series. I was like, I kind of don't want a big beer tonight. Let me look up some ABV. So I kind of was like, okay, gleaned a little information on the series that I was given. Can't find really anything about this beer at all. Not on their website. I didn't find anything. I couldn't really find. I didn't find on Beer Advocate. So not sure where this beer lands as far as releasing and what's not. So. Anyway, I do know they did a smoked porter. The last smoked porter I believe they did was a smoked porter was a collab they did with the Shoots, but that was like 4 years ago. I doubt this is the same beer. Now they could have made that collaboration, decided to kind of bring that recipe back, which is totally fine, and barrel age it. So yeah, got a fatty snifter glass here. Just in the mood for kind of sitting around and being a little bit sniftery. Is that a word? Can you adjectivize or verbize? Is that a word? I don't know. Non-noun snifter. Words. Anyway, just over a finger, infinite creaminess. I mean, it's gravitating, slightly lower than malted malt ball color, just super creamy infiniteness. You want to sleep on that fucker all day long. And she's dark. Nothing too crazy. You know, you can definitely get color through on the pour, but you're not going to get color through this because how thick the glass is. So, does she look like a smoked porter? Sure. Does she smell like a smoked porter in bourbon barrels? Let's find out. Yes. Yes, in a very fun, beautiful way. Smoked porters for me. Or smoked beers. I'm not saying I hate any beer. But smoked porters are smoked beers. I don't like to say porters. Smoked beers. Rush beers, big smoked beers can get a little bit outside of my comfort zone, especially when they get super peat mossy, kind of super over the top smoked. This is not even close to that. There's a subtle smoky character, a nice kind of reduced caramelized kind of bourbon non-heat to it, and then there's a soft kind of, again, chocolate malted kind of smell to it. It's all very rounded, all very soft. Soft is the key here. Everything's very soft in the nose. Yeah. Rounded. Everything smells together, too. It's not like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of smoke and a little bit of this. It's all like one piece together, and they're all kind of little pieces within the one piece. Very cohesive, let's put it that way. Nose is absolutely fantastic. Soft, nothing in your face. You're talking about an Imperial Porter with bourbon. Some people just want that shit to punch you in the face. That's not the case here. I think that's a good thing. Let's find out. Cheers. a little bit more separated than I thought it was going to be based off of the nose. There is a big heat there, and you get a bit of that bourbon heat. Not huge, but it's there. I thought it was going to be super smooth throughout, but to get that, it's not jarring, but it's slightly, and I'm not going to use the word off-putting either. It's just more of a surprise based off the nose. I thought it was going to be real soft. With smoked malts, very subtle in a good way. They're easily detectable. It's not like you're like, oh, I can barely taste it. No, it's smoked and it's smoked malt, but it's not over the top. It's not like, you know what I mean, peat mossy, crazy. What's that one brewery? I had reviewed it. God, it was the first year I started doing beer reviews. Church Key, brewing out of Canada. It was like it was a Scotch ale that was like drinking peat moss. Not even close to that. If you get this somebody, you're gonna be like, okay, this is smoked malt, but it's not in your face. There's a nice kind of slightly umami, slightly savoriness to that smoke, which is pretty cool. You combine that with that bourbon, which has a little bit of heat to it, but it's not super over the top bourbony. It kind of counterbalances that little bit of kind of savoriness and kind of just bounces off each other to make something that's pretty fun. It's not impactful. It's not what a lot of people look for. The less, actually, when you kind of let it linger after you actually swallow and let it sit, that smoke kind of builds in your mouth. It's kind of fun. It's not going to be what a lot of people expect. You know, people, like I said, when they drink barrel-aged beers now, they like literally want to be hit in the face with a sledgehammer with bourbon. Can I get down with that kind of beer? Yeah, I can enjoy it. But sometimes I just want a bit more of a serenading of barreling, a serenading of bourbon. That's what you're getting in here. Like I said, a little bit of heat from the bourbon, but nothing off-putting. It's not like super hot. It's not like a burn. It's more of an evaporative kind of alcohol. Sweet cherry from the bourbon, bright. Nothing too dark. There's a subtle oakiness to it. That's dry, but not overly dry. I don't think I'm getting a lot of barrel charriness out of this, but again, it's a smoked malt, and I can kind of mirror that a little bit. So, am I getting more smoked malt, or am I getting a little bit of barrel? And with that smoked malt, could be, but with that smoked malt not being gigantic, I expect it to be not too charry of a barrel. Let's put it that way. Nice, creamy, super creamy mouthfeel, very silky, creamy, smooth. And the beer is definitely there. It's not, again, not a huge beer. I don't know the ABV in this. If I was gonna guess, definitely sub 10. I have no idea. I'm guessing 7 to 9, somewhere in that range. Nothing too gigantic. And it's nice. It's nice. It's super easy drinkable. Even though, like you said, that heat thing there, it's not a burn. It's more of an evaporative thing. And it's just pleasant. And I don't say that a lot about smoked beers. It's tasty, and super approachable. So let's talk about it. Let's cut to the chase, and just say, is this one of the better smoked porters, smoked beers? Let's go with that generic. I've had it as of late. Yes, I don't drink a lot, so it's going to default almost to that spot. But if I did drink a bunch, this is kind of where I'm going to land. Again, you know, that smoked vibe. And almost anything except for barbecue really doesn't do it for me. Even barbecue, I like more of like a kind of non-super smoked thing. You know, the smoked beers that I've had that really have done to me have been subtle. Your chicory stouts, your softer, subtler smoked beers. The big ones don't really do it for me. So this is right up my alley. So yes, definitely. Value and availability, I don't know. Again, like I said, I was lucky enough to actually have these given to me. Availability, no idea. Like I said, I couldn't really find anything on the internet about it. I mean, I'm sure I go on the old Untapped, somebody's plugged it in there, but I have no idea. If you get Great Lakes, are you going to be able to see this or the Barrel Age series? I don't know that either. We get Great Lakes in decent supply in my area. I don't think I've seen their Barrel Age stuff hit, so I don't know. Just say, you know, if you like what we like this, if you like porters, if you like subtly bourbon barrel aged porters, subtly bourbon barrel aged beers. You like porters, and you want a little bit of a chutzpah, a little bit of pizzazz on top of that porter to bring a little bit of depth to it. To me, porters can leave me a little wanting, unless they're Imperial. Again, this is an Imperial one, but it doesn't drink that way. And the added smoked malt combined with that bourbon just kind of makes this something way more pleasant for me than I expected, to be perfectly honest with you. Combine that with how easy it is to drink and just that creamy, super creamy, delicious, fluffy, awesome mouthfeel. It's delicious. So, is it going to be everybody's favorite beer? No. If you're looking for super smoke, it's not going to fucking foot the bill for you. If you're looking for barrel-aged 2x4 for the face, it's not going to foot that bill either. But if you're looking for rounded, well-balanced beers from, beer to barrel to adjunct, the whole nine, it's kind of a good beer. And that's the thing with Great Lakes. Great Lakes gets a little bit poopy, kind of, not that they get a bad rap in our area, but they become a very shelf kind of wasteland kind of beer. They kind of hit our area, everybody kind of went bonkers, but that was right before beer kind of like really went ape shit. So they kind of get lost in the shuffle. But they make really good beers. I mean, their Pilsner's good. Like I said, Chillwave was one of my favorite beers of all time. For the longest time, for me, it has changed. I don't think it's me changing. I still love that beer, though. But it's, 10%, double IPA. I just don't really want to fuck with that much. A Blackout Stout is still one of the better base stouts in the barrel age, even that much better. Their Christmas beer, I forget what it's called, is really nice. So they do a lot of really good beers. They just kind of get lost in the shuffle, and it's kind of a weird thing, because they're kind of like, people gave a shit and then they didn't. So it's kind of cool to see breweries kind of stick to their guns and just making good beers. And it seems like a lot of those breweries, those kind of breweries that were kind of stuck, I guess you would say, in that weird middle zone, that weird limbo. They're not like an exclusive like boutique brewery, but they're not like one of the big guys. They're somewhere in between. Seems like they got lost in the shuffle. It's cool to see them keep producing good beers and hopefully, kind of take a little piece back and let people know and be like, hey, you still bring the fucking heat. So, super excited to give the rest of them a whirl. Let's put it that way. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on tap, Massive Beers, all four of those places if you want to check me out anywhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice smoky porter right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.